Hi guys, how are you? I miss everyone. It's been such a long time. I hope everyone is staying safe and doing great during this difficult time. In this video today, I want to explain the section we started last week, which is some difference of identities. And as you guys notice, you're gonna see that I have repeated the identities in every single slide. Does not mean those are new. It's just I like you guys to see the identities as we're working on the problem. Here, let me try to zoom in more. That helps better. Okay, so we call them sum and difference because again, you can see the plus and the minus with cosine and with sine. And then some of you might say, what's the purpose of that? I can just add them. And I explained and said those identities are used to find the sine and cosine of non-remarkable angles, which means the angles that aren't on our unit circle as remarkable ones. So when we memorize that circle, we memorize the cosine and sine of some angles. Those we call them remarkable ones. Now what we're going to try to find are sines and cosines of angles that aren't remarkable. So cosine of 60 is a remarkable angle. Going back to the unit circle, you can tell that half is the cosine of 60, but 75, for example, is not on there. So how would I know the sine of 75? So I would break it down into 30 and 45. Now, some of you might say, why not 25 and 50? Yes, 75 is 25 plus 50, but neither 25 nor 50 are remarkable angles. So you want to break it down into some angles that you see on the unit circle. So that's why we broke it down into 30 and 45. And you're basically just applying the identity, which said like sine of a sum is sine of the first, cosine of the second, and then you flip them, plus sine of the second, cosine of the first. Now, some of you might ask, what if we flip those and it's 45 plus 30? You're still going to end up with the same answer. So you multiply. We multiply top across, 2 by 2, so square root of 2 over 4, square root of 6 over 4, and then I kind of put them under the same denominator. Example 2. So cosine of 90 degrees is 0. We all know that. It says prove it. So prove it, we're going to use sum and difference. So I'm going to break down the 90 into 30 and 60 using identity 26. We're going to apply it. Cosine, cosine. So cosine first, cosine second, minus sine first, sine second. And I'm going to get square root of 3 over 4 minus square root of 3 over 4, which is 0. Example 3. Prove that the sine of 90 equals 1. So again, you're going to use the identity 28 because it's a sine and it's a sum. And you're going to break it down into... now, again, if you look up here, if I break it down into 20 and 70, it's true, but it's not remarkable, so it's not going to help. That's why I went back here and I broke it down into 30 and 60, which is going to give me the same answer, but those are remarkable, and I can find them on the unit circle versus these. Only the calculator could give me those. Again, so those are without calculator. So half multiplied by half is fourth. And I reminded you here of a square root rule. Square root of 3 multiplied by square root of 3 is 3, 3/4. So a fourth plus 3/4 equals 1. So that was example 3. And the last example, prove that cosine of x plus pi over 2 equals negative sine x. So now we have included an unknown using what I meant here, plus slash minus sum and difference identities. Just it's an abbreviation if you see that. So we're going to use which identity? I look up here, I compare. It's going to be identity 26. So identity 26, I apply it, cosine first, cosine second. So cosine first, and the first is x, I don't know it. Cosine second, cosine of pi over 2. Cosine of pi over 2 is 0 multiplied by anything, even if it's an unknown. It's going to be a 0 minus sine first, sine second. So sine of x, that's the first one. Sine of second one. The sine of pi over 2 is 1. 1 multiplied by sine is sine. With the negative will be negative sine x. And hope this helps. Now, I know some of you emailed me this. I didn't assign it yet. So great job if you did email me the homework. If not, this is going to be the work for tomorrow, Monday, the 20th. So it's 11 through 14, 17 through 19, 23 through 28, page 425. And thank you. Good luck.